a lot of my photographs were taken in a period of time in history that was extremely turbulent within the city of New York. And South Bronx was ground zero for a lot of the destruction and urban decay that was taking place within New York City at the time. And it was the poster child nationwide for those conditions. We always knew there was something wrong going on in our community. There was no way to us kind of define it because we weren't politically savvy in that way. There was nobody to teach us that. And through me as a young Puerto Rican man, actually living in those communities and photographing it from the inside, we were able to add this dialogue. And off of that, I began to learn about a lot of the politics that was taking place and became more and more socially aware of what was going on. That was one of the first genesis of me taking my photography from, I'm not just photographing my friends anymore, I'm photographing the context in which we are living and how a city, a state, and even a nation was actively playing a role in destroying my community and doing absolutely nothing about it. People in my community kind of knew something was up and were becoming more and more aware of what was happening. And my photography during that time kind of changed, even for them. They began to understand that through my growth as a political, socially aware person, that what I was doing was taking on a whole new significance. And as my activism grew, I began to share that and began to organize and people in my community and say, hey, this is what actually is going down. It got to the point that when I ran out of equipment, the local pawn shop guy, the local fence would tell me, hey, Rick, I hear you out of equipment, come into my store. And take me to the back, open up all the equipment that he had there, and say, take what you want, and stuff, and give me $50 or something, As a photographer, I felt extremely motivated to document what was taking place during that period of time. There were a lot of great photographers, don't get me wrong, but you know what? They're not going to see it the way I see it. They're not a South Bronx Puerto Rican and stuff who actually is living under the very weight of the oppression that was being focused on our community. I think that one of the real concerns that I have about photographers today is that they're disconnected to these movements. And that's not everybody. But I'm saying that many photographers don't know how to make those connections. They simply see it as an opportunity to make a great photograph, but they have no connection to the history or the background of what's actually taking place. More importantly, that people of color that are coming out of our communities. So they're making those connections and say, hey, this is connected to this is connected to that, and this is why people are becoming angry. A lot of them are out there right now photographing all the demonstrations against the election of Trump. My hope is, what people will take away from this show is that they see the connections between struggle within communities in New York City there with the struggles that are taking place now. I think the greatest threat to our society today is that we forget history so easily, or the differences and the distinctions of all the different movements that have influenced change within society. And once we forget how to do that, we're in real trouble. We're in real big trouble.